have a video here on Donna making the risotto. She doesn't have anything written down, so she's going to show us how to make it. All right, hon, what you doing first here?
Okay, I'm going to get my broth ready for the risotto. I've got a chicken here cut up, fryer chicken cut up. And I've got my water boiling here. But as soon as I add my chicken into that boiling water, I'm going to turn my water down because I don't want it to be boiling. I want it just to be simmering. So. I didn't wash this chicken because they tell you not to. You get more stuff around when you wash your chicken. You get more germs around from it then.
On the sink and everything? Yeah. Okay.
And I'm going to turn this down now to like a simmer on my stove and let that cook for a little bit.
Okay, how long are you going to let it cook?
Well, what happens is when you put chicken in water like that, sometimes you'll get a skim on the top, like a scum, and you have to kind of take that off of there with a spoon. And then, after that happens, I add, I got a pretty good size big onion here, and another half of a smaller one, a carrot, 2 stalks of celery, and try and find celery if you can with a lot of green tops to it, because that's what flavors your broth.
Okay.
Okay. And then after I get all that in there, I'll add about a tablespoon and a half of salt to the water.
Okay. So we got to wait till it starts getting that little stuff on top to skim off of there?
Yeah, sometimes it don't, but a lot of times it will.
Yeah.
It all depends on, my water was kind of not boiling too fast here, so it may not happen. It just may be okay.
Okay. So how long does that take?
The chicken and the broth and everything, probably an hour, hour and a half, maybe sometimes 2.
I mean, how long before you're going to put the other stuff in?
Oh, I want this to get going a little bit here.
Okay. All right, we'll let it simmer a bit and then we'll come back. Now.
Okay, this is the stuff I told you. It comes on the top. It's kind of like a scummy type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just take it off as much as I can out of the pot. And then just throw it away, discard it. Now you could take your gizzards and hearts and add it to this if you've got them ready, okay? I don't have mine ready. I just bought them this afternoon at the store. Mm-hmm. You got to clean them and get them, make sure they're all clean before you make. But you could just make like a separate pan and cook those by themselves, and basically add onion and celery, a celery stalk or 2, and a small onion. And let that cook until they're done. Probably take maybe about an hour for them to get done too.
We're not going to do that right.
Or you can put it in here. If, like I said, if you got them all ready, you can put them in here and cook those.
Yeah.
You cook the liver separately because it's too strong. You don't want your broth to taste like liver. You cook them just in water.
Yeah.
And then when they're done, you take them out of the water, put them in a bowl, let them cool, put them in the refrigerator. Same way with the hearts and the gizzards, you do the same thing. If you cook them in here, you take them out when you get your soup done, put them in a bowl, put them in the refrigerator, let them cool,
All right.
and then that's when, later on, that's when you gotta chop them up and make
Okay.
your sauce.
Time out. Now you're gonna show us later how to do chickens and livers and how much and everything like that, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay.
So I'm gonna put my leaves in there, my celery leaves. Cut my carrot in 2 pieces here. My celery in different pieces. I kind of leave it big because I want to take it out of there later. So I just have the broth in there. I'll take it out after the soup's done. And just mainly just throw it away because you don't need it for anything. But these are what you call your aromatics, and that's what flavors your soup and your stuff. And I take my carrots, the halved one, cut it in half, then quarter it here.
How about your onions? What are you doing then?
That's the onions,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I don't know what I called them, but
Yeah, call them carrots.
okay, I'm sorry. I'm peeling off the carrots. I mean the onions. I don't know why I got carrots on my mind here.
You're looking at that one over
I
there.
guess maybe, I don't know. Okay, got that in half. Cut it into fours. Same way with the other piece. Now I just add those all to my broth. And then take a tablespoon and a half of salt here. I'm using kosher salt, so I'm not going to salt anymore because kosher salt is pretty big and it might be enough in there. You could always taste it when it's done, see if it's salty enough. And if not, you could add a little bit more to it. And that's it. That's the broth, and you just let it cook till the chicken's done and all the vegetables are soft, and that's about it.
Okay. We'll be back later.
Okay, I've got my livers, my gizzards and my hearts here. I had to clean the hearts. Sometimes you have to cut the tops off of them off and stuff, and I made a pile of them. And that was about 3/4 of a pound, wasn't it? Of fried hearts.
Yeah. Okay.
And then about a pound of gizzards.
Okay.
And I go through them all because sometimes you'll get gizzards and they'll get like a green, real hard skin on it. You gotta scrape that off and get that out of there and clean that off.
Okay.
And then after I got those two, I got my water ready here. I'm gonna cook them in there, like I said, with onion and some celery and some salt, about a tablespoon, maybe about a tablespoon of salt, and let them cook.
How
in
long?
a separate pot. Well, you cook them until they're done. Now the gizzards probably take longer than the hearts, but I'm going to cook them all together, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh.
Really, you know.
When you say they're done, hon, what do you just?
They're soft.
Okay.
Okay, they feel soft when you take one out and prick it with a fork, and if it feels soft, and you know it's done. It's
Okay.
ready. So, there. And then in another pot, I'll take probably 4 chicken livers, okay?
Yeah.
And just cook them by themselves in some water in a small pot, just with water.
How come you doing
No
that?
salt or nothing. I just
Why are you
cook
cooking them separately?
because they'll make everything taste bitter if you don't cook them by themselves.
Okay. Oh, that's the livers.
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me. Yeah, I see. So the livers you cook separately then. Okay.
Yeah. 3 to 4. It all depends on how big they are. And they should be a complete liver. Let's see if I could find one in here. Okay, that's a complete one. Okay,
Okay.
that's 1.
Uh-huh.
That's 2. Can't find another one that's okay. That's 3. And see, there's stuff on there too. Like
Yeah.
you have to get that off too, because that'll be bitter.
Okay.
So you just cut that off with a knife somehow,
Mm-hmm.
and then put it in your water.
Okay.
And I always cook 4, but I usually just use no more than 3 because you could overpower it with the liver, and it won't taste good.
You say you cook no more than 3, but you're going to cook 4.
Well, I mean, I cook no more than 4,
Yeah.
and use just 3 because it just bitter makes everything real strong.
Why don't you
so
just cook 3 then?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes
Okay.
I just do it, and if I think I need to add it, I will. But
Okay.
3 is probably the best.
Okay.
And they don't have to cook very long because they don't take as long to cook.
Okay.
Just till mainly that they look like they're done, and there's no more blood you see in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then just let them take them out of the water and put them in a bowl and let them cool, and then put them in the refrigerator till
Okay.
you're ready to cut them up the next day.
All
And I
right.
always do my soup and all those things the day before because it's a lot easier.
Okay.
Don't take, otherwise
Yeah.
I'd have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning to start all this.
All right. Yeah, this is Saturday evening, November 15th, and then tomorrow we'll be doing the rest of it, right?
Right.
Okay. See you later. We got our livers and gizzards all cooked.
Okay, these are the livers. They're 4. And as you'll notice, they aren't as big as they were before after I cooked them, and they've been cooled overnight in the refrigerator. And these are the gizzards and the hearts together that I cooked in about a 5-quart Dutch oven type thing. And I cooked them till they were kind of soft, Now my next step is that I'll have to cut all these up and dice them up, and then I'll show you what that looks like after I get that done, and then we'll go on to our next step
Okay.
after that.
Show us a couple here how you're going to do it.
You mean cut them on here?
Yeah.
Okay. Get a knife
Your
first.
knife, okay. And these are the gizzards and the hearts right here.
Okay, I'll take a gizzard, get it in half like that. Some of them are not that big, and they shrink after they cook anyway. So what I do is cut it up, pieces like this.
Let me get on the other side, hon, I can see better. There you
Like I
go.
said.
Mm-hmm.
Cut this. There's a little center gristle in the gizzards when they're a whole piece like that.
Uh-huh.
And I just cut that and set that aside because you don't want to use that.
Yeah.
Just mainly want to use the meat part of it.
Okay.
So then I cut this and kind of dice it up.
Okay, really small pieces then, huh?
Yeah, but this is not done. I'll show you. Learned a new trick a couple years ago that works great. I have a chopper here, a Pampered Chef chopper, and I use that after I get it diced up, and then I just use that until I think it's.
Oh wow, look at that.
So it works pretty good, and it doesn't take as long.
Good idea. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, and my liver, I'll have to do it later because I do that last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll show you later what it looks like because you kind of want to keep it from crumbling, although sometimes it does, but it doesn't change any taste or anything. So,
Okay.
all right, that's it for right now. Tell me when.
Okay.
This is the heart that after it's been cooked. And you see this is the top part of it, this is the bottom. I take and cut the top part of it off there. Get that stuff away and discard that. Any fat or anything that might be on there too. And then I just slice it up and then dice it with my chopper. But I wanted to show you that so that if you do use the hearts, which you should because it's got a different flavor added to the sauce, that you should discard that because you don't want that stuff in your sauce. So I just wanted to show you that.
Okay. And show us how you're going to cut up the hearts. The small pieces, just like the.
Yeah, and I use the chopper on it too.
I see.
You know, I just take the top off of each one of them, set them aside, and that's all my discard from the gizzards and the hearts there.
Wow.
That I cut off.
Okay.
And this is all the stuff I chopped up.
Oh yeah.
That makes your sauce.
Okay.
And all this now you could adjust your recipe as to how much you're making. You know, and to tell you what it would be, you just kind of have to judge it.
Yeah.
So you have sauce to make your risotto the color it's supposed to be. So.
Okay.
This is the 3 livers, the 3 whole livers I've cut and chopped up, and this goes in with your giblets there, your livers. I mean your gizzards and hearts when you make your sauce for your risotto. Okay. And you don't want any more than this because, like I said, it could get pretty strong taste. So I just wanted to show you what it looked like. And I'll put it in a bowl now, and pretty soon I'll be making the sauce.